Listen for an explosive live sound. The snare should be crisp and the cymbals should ring.
I admire you when my living has a limit of desire to keep it going. I'm just knowing that my time with you makes a difference. How I'm feeling when I vibe with you. They can't divide us two. We got a bond like 007, right? Even on Devil's Night, you show me what the heavens like. Go ahead and spread your light, though I can barely see. I know you're there with me, my personal therapy. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to love you, yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to love you, yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary. You inspire me, look at you crazy when you tell me you admire me. Not an example for anybody to try to be. We'll call you bluff, but I know you wouldn't lie to me. Just a surprise to me, we got a bond tight, no one can come between. I have respect for you, you have your love for me, and that's enough for me. All I need to get by, let me be the method to your Mary J. Blige. So many times I felt defeated, you always know the right thing to say for when I need it. I wanna do the same thing for you to keep it even. You can call me anytime, you don't ever need a reason. I'm right here with you, never could forget you. All the things that we've been through, everything we went through, hey, none of it was simple, but I'm right here with you. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to love you, yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to love you, yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Oh, good morning. Oh, yes, that's right. This is live radio, so we can do that. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is now 8:03 a.m., and you are listening to and watching Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news program. And that clap, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Early. When we mess up on our show, we take a sip to remind ourselves to be calm, relax it. Yes. Cheers, Monica.
Cheers.
What I meant to say was that clap is for all of us. That's a collective clap. Hopefully you guys out there are blessed, highly motivated, doing your thing today, waking up in a good and positive disposition. That's the word of the day. The word of the day is disposition. A good and positive disposition. And we have a great guest today. We have a friend of the show. We have an artist, have a dedicated businesswoman. We have a professional. That trail of superlatives, ladies and gentlemen, could lead to only one person, Maureen Gasek. What is up? Here with MCIP, Manufacturing Careers Internship Program, which, if you guys recall, has been in our news once upon a time. I think it was months ago, though. But they have a lot of great things going on. Maureen, good to see you today.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself a little bit, and then let us know about MCIP, what it is, and what you do.
So currently I'm with a company called Business and Career Services.
Okay.
I am the Kane County Outreach Coordinator.
Okay.
So I basically handle all of Kane County because of my background in being involved in the city in the past, in the food pantries, in the Chamber of Commerce, etc. I was hired because of the way I do outreach.
That was a heck of a hire. That was a no-brainer.
So my role is to partner with different organizations to bring this program to our young adults in our communities. So it actually encompasses Kane County and the surrounding areas. So the goal is we serve young adults 18 to 24. It's an internship program. It's called MCIP, which is Manufacturing Career Internship Program.
Okay.
It is funded by the federal government and the Department of Labor. Kane County then takes those funds and distributes it.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a mobile office because I do all the outreach throughout Kane County. So I just spoke at Hirschauer High School last week. I'll be out in Algonquin next week. I'm in Elgin. Wherever I can bring this opportunity to young adults and serve our communities, that's where I go.
Good. Now you mentioned the high schools. Is it a goal, or has it been a goal to kind of get a younger crowd involved in manufacturing, or get them? Is that like a target target group?
So we serve 18 to 24s.
Okay.
And the program was developed because not everyone's college bound.
Sure.
Not everybody has the ability to go to college, whether it's grades. So the program is designed around young adults with barriers.
Okay.
So what we want to do is we want to try to alleviate any of those barriers. So barriers could be, and automatic qualifiers for the program when they apply are, they could be a parenting youth, they could be in a foster care or homeless, they could be in a low income area or housing. They could have they could be English learning language, so that English is not the first language in the home. That's an automatic qualifier.
Okay.
They could have a disability. Okay. So we serve young adults with barriers, and we try to make sure that we take those barriers away trying to find employment. Does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
So even with transportation, so the program's designed so that everything is paid for. There's no cost. We will supply work boots. We will give them a cell phone up to 3 months. We will provide, if they need a shirt for an interview, if they need clothes, whatever they need to walk on that job or to be ready to interview with that company, we provide at no cost, which is amazing.
That is amazing. Here's why I'm proud to shout this out and highlight this. I worked for a staffing agency once upon a time in life, and I did hire and give jobs and opportunities to a bunch of youngsters and people, and some of them did have just one thing that was stopping them from grabbing that brass ring. And so I'm glad to see that that it is possible for everybody to grab that brass ring.
Yeah. And what's great is we work with the manufacturers, we work with the companies, so they understand the program.
Right.
It's a win-win. So they get a person for 8 weeks. The internship is 8 weeks long. So we do a 2-week training prior to that. So we do a work readiness training. That work readiness helps individuals with the 7 A's, like acceptance, acceptance, appearance, ambition, appreciation. So we teach them those soft skills that they might not get, right? Then we also teach them resume building and resume writing, interviewing skills. We teach them their rights as an employee. We teach them financial literacy. So they have a career advisor that stays with them for up to and over a year as long as they're engaged in the program.
That is awesome.
So they always have somebody there to say, hey, I'm having an issue, or I woke up late, what do I do? Whatever it is. The career advisor becomes their best friend. And they help guide them. And
now the career advisors are BCS employees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So everyone is employed by Business and Career Services.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and they'll always have that career advisor, which is great. So, and we also offer other services. So they do the 2-week training.
Okay.
We get them into an 8-week internship. Say they get through the 8 weeks and they go, I don't like manufacturing. We also have what we kind of call a scholarship program for continuing education. So we find out what they really like.
Right.
Or they may have been exposed during this internship to all these different aspects of manufacturing. They're like, I want to learn how to weld.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Out of all this, how do you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so we have the funds to send them to training. So an employer can direct hire them after 8 weeks. Then they could potentially go into an on-the-job training program, depending on how it all works. They can be a direct hire, then they'll be eligible for all the benefits the employer offers. If they don't get hired in that 8 weeks, we work with them to get them into another position.
Okay.
And again, if they might say like, oh, I want to learn this, or I want to learn more about robotics, okay, great.
Yep.
We want to expose them to things that they don't normally would get exposure to, especially in manufacturing. Because as I mentioned earlier, we see these big concrete structures and these walls.
Yep.
And we don't really know what goes on behind all those walls.
Exactly.
So during the training also, they get to tour different manufacturers. They get to meet HR personnel. They get to meet supervisors. They get to talk with them. So they're getting that exposure even prior to starting that internship.
I think that's so helpful because a lot of times I told you about, I worked for Ecolabs once upon a time, and it was an overwhelming environment, but I found, some good people who will help you and coach you through it, because you don't want to just be a worker in one of these places. You need to be a person who is allowed to have their talent shine in a specific area, because that would be unfortunate to be in the world of manufacturing but not be able to see a specific for yourself.
Right, and the program's designed that so it's a career path. It's not just a job.
Right.
It's not like, there's nothing wrong with staffing agencies. We need them.
Sure.
But when you go to a staffing agency, it's warehouse, it's assembly, you're just kind of a worker.
Right.
And this program sets them up for a career path.
Right.
So they can take it wherever they want to go with it. It's up to that individual. Just show up.
Mm-hmm. That's all you gotta do.
We give them the tools, we give them the training. They just have to show up.
Amazing what happened if you just show up, right?
What would happen if I didn't show up this morning?
Yeah. No, it's that would have been amazing. In the opposite direction.
Yes.
All right. So I want to jumpstart a career in manufacturing paid internship. For you guys who are just learning about where Good Morning Aurora is located, I want to highlight our address again. It's 5 East Downer Place, Suite T. We are the walkway that's around the corner from the GAR building and the Kane County Voting Center across the street from 1 East Benton. Our outside window will showcase the MCIP flyer, and we have the Spanish version as well. We'll showcase that on our window. So if you guys are interested, or you know somebody who can benefit from the information, certainly come out to our news and job board that's in the front window. The time is now 8:12 a.m. Monica, would you be so kind as to take us to a commercial, let us know what's happening on a local level?
All right, good morning, everyone. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. and I'll be sharing that link with you all in our chat. The Kane County and DuPage County Sheriff's Offices are hosting a job readiness and hiring event Thursday, November 18th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. This will take place at 205 North Lake Street, Suite 103 in Aurora. Those who participate can receive help in many areas such as resume writing and interviewing, and be introduced to the job and community resources. There is a registration link that I'll be sharing in our chat. Get ready for the Citizenship Exam Preparation Group, hosted by the Aurora Public Library. This will be a 4-session series where students will practice and prepare for the citizenship test and interview. Registration is required and there is limited availability for this event. The first session will be Wednesday, November 10th, followed by Thursday, November 11th. The third session will be Wednesday, November 17th, and followed by Thursday, November 18th. Each session will be from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. in room 126 at the Centauri Library. For more information, call 630-264-4117, and we will also be sharing that flyer on our social media.
Right, wonderful. So I notice here that it says obtain OSHA safety training and forklift operation and safety certification. One of the things the program offers. So talk about the OSHA safety training.
So that's part of the 2-week training that we do.
Okay.
With the advent of COVID, we had to kind of pull back on that just because everything was shut down.
Sure.
So we're starting to open that back up again. So it is 10-hour safety training.
Okay.
They go through the training. If they pass the test, they also get paid for that training. And they get a certificate. So it's an incentive. So we also do the forklift training. So they have to pass the forklift test, they get the certification, and they also get paid for that.
That's awesome.
Which is wonderful.
It is.
Yes.
Now, how long have you been with BCS?
So I started last September.
Okay.
So I'm just celebrating a year.
All right, congrats. Yes, that's good news. We like that. Celebration. So what was it like getting involved and being a new team member in September? I have a COVID-related question about life and the transitioning and changing. So, but take us to the beginning with BCS.
So interesting enough, I had interviewed with them the day the state shut down. So
talk about calling it, right?
Everything was kind of put on hold for a while, and then I had another interview in June, and we didn't really know where we were going.
Sure.
Everything was still in influx. We were all shut down. People need to protect themselves. So, I was like, where am I going? I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then we, talked and then I started in September because things were starting to open up.
Good. And it seems like you've been rather fulfilled with this. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes.
We saw each other at the TBOC, Taking Back Our Community on Grand Boulevard event that had COVID vaccines and flu shots as well, amongst other resources. And you are a champion of this program. And I think that that's one of the things that attracts me to it is that, when people like what they do, it shows. Like when you advocate or you really like what you're advocating for, it shows. And I really appreciate that. So I hope this has success. Now, have you guys had are there any success stories that you can share with us?
Yes.
Without giving like names or whatever.
Absolutely. So, and this is where the passion comes in with me. It's like I like to see others succeed.
Yeah.
So that always, as you can tell, I'm smiling. I'm smiling.
They can hear the smile.
So we had we did a cohort. We did a training. We had several young adults. We had to do most of it virtually, unfortunately, because we had to deal with the limitations. So we did a lot virtually. We did as much as we could to really start placing young adults into jobs and careers. So I was contacted by a friend of mine and said, I have someone for you for the program. So he came into the program, and when he started virtually, we did so much virtually, the head was down and
Yeah.
There was like this lackluster
Right.
of, okay.
The camera off.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, and
Here we
he was
are.
engaged, and everybody was engaged, but it's this virtual world we were in, and it's not like in person. In person,
Right.
so much you get more energy from it. So he went through the training. He got placed with a new company, a new manufacturer we just started working with, and went through the 8 weeks. They loved him, and he loved them. So fast forward a couple of months, they hired him. He was a direct hire.
Okay.
And I wanted to use him maybe as a success story and talk to him. So I gave him a call, and he giggled.
Really?
Yes, he's like, I am so happy. I love my job. I love the people. And he giggled. He was a whole different person. And then the HR woman at the company, I said, could you take a picture for us in front of the sign? And he had lost some weight. He stood proud. He was smiling. He was beaming in front of this company sign. Good. And it was like, to me, like I got goosebumps, To me, that's a great success story. He's happy. He's successful. He's already gotten raises,
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how you find your people. You get people who want to be there.
Yeah.
Get people who want to do it. If they show the initiative, receive the initiative.
Right.
No, I really do. I really like that. Joseph Weber.
Yes.
Yeah. Joseph Weber interviewed him the super early days of Good Morning Aurora. Still only audio, no video.
Yeah.
Interviewed Joseph Weber. He was in school for his drone piloting license. I told him, I said, look, when you get that license, I will hire you for some footage. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Awesome. And that felt really good. I was his first invoice. That felt really good. Yep, that's how you do. Let's bring each other up.
Well, and even in speaking to the HR manager at the company, she was like, "I wish all of our workers could go through your training because they walk in really prepared and confident."
Right.
So we help. That's the whole idea. It's not just getting them a job and on a career path. It's helping them build that confidence. They might not have that at home. They may have this, but they may have been in the juvenile justice system. That's another barrier that we look at, and that's an automatic qualifier. It's okay. We want to give people second chances, and give them opportunities. So we try to alleviate all of those barriers for them.
Yeah. I'm happy about that. I like that because too long. That's been another issue with the employment situation for many people for many decades and years and generations. Like they just won't hire you. You know, they just won't hire you.
Right.
For many different reasons. So I have a couple of points of noticias for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to deliver these real quick because there's some interesting stuff that came across our desks. And as a matter of fact, Monica, I do believe it qualifies as. That's right, better than CNN, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, women veterans to lead the Veterans Day Parade here in Aurora. Leading this year's Veterans Day Parade in Aurora are Grand Marshals and a unit of female veterans to put a spotlight on the contributions of women in the military. With the theme, Serving Our Country and Our Community, the annual Aurora Veterans Day Parade will begin 10:15 a.m. Thursday, November 11th, starting at Benton Street and Broadway Avenue. The parade will then head on Broadway to Downer and west on Downer to the GAR Memorial Hall, 23 East Downer Place. Shout out to Eric Pry. That's not written in this article, so those are my words. Where Veterans Parade participants and guests will convene for a tribute ceremony. The Veterans Day ceremony will feature remarks by Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin, a U.S. Army veteran and other local veterans, a roll call of military branches, and a military salute on the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month to commemorate the Armistice Agreement that ended World War I. All right. In honor of the 35th anniversary of Public Law 610, the bill signed in 1986 to authorize the establishment of the Military Women's Memorial in Washington, D.C. Monica, scratch that up because I don't think these people heard that. Let's say that again. In honor of the 35th anniversary of Public Law 610, a bill signed in 1986 to authorize the establishment of the Military Women's Memorial in Washington. Leading this year's parade as Grand Marshals will be a unit of women veterans, including State Representative Stephanie Kifowit, city officials, public safety officers, and business owners. Cecilia Lopez Leyva, the mother of fallen U.S. Marine Corporal Sarah Medina, will represent her daughter in the Grand Marshal unit. An East Aurora High School graduate, Medina was killed in 2015 while on duty in Nepal, India. Parade units will also feature local veterans organizations, including the Aurora Veterans Advisory Council, what up? The Roosevelt Aurora American Legion Post 84, Mike Eckberg, good morning. All of you guys, Mr. Miller, all of y'all. The Walter E. Trumper American Legion Post 1944, AMVETS Post 103, Fox Valley Marine Corps League, Toyota Veterans Association, Fox Knoll Veterans, Daughters of the American Revolution Chapter in Aurora, and the City of Aurora Veterans Employees. Shouts out. And that's some good news coming up. And also, last thing, and then we'll get back to our discussion with our friend Maureen here. Winter clothes are going to be collected, and Good Morning Aurora is proud to be one of a few drop-off locations. 5 East Downer Place, Sweet Tea. From November 15th until the 20th, we will collect gloves, scarves, hats, mitten, any kind of warm item for those less fortunate. We're proud to be teaming up with the Office of State Representative Barbara Hernandez of the 83rd District and Alive Aurora, 78 South LaSalle Street. The time is now 8:24 a.m. Okay, so what a day for news. What a day for news and a discussion. So what have been some of the, and separate from COVID and everything that's been with that, what have been some of the challenges in bringing the program to different parts of Kane County?
So the program started originally in 2011,
Okay.
and it was brought to Kane County in 2013. We've had well over 1,000 participants, almost 1,000 participants in the program. The statistics are great. We have a huge success rate with the program. The challenge is, well, with COVID especially, is getting participants to actively engage. So that's one of the reasons this role was developed for the Kane County area, was to have somebody hitting their ground running.
Okay.
And to bring this program, to create this awareness that is necessary. Because if you don't know, you don't know.
Sure.
You know, so, and that's why I reach out. My role, one of my big roles is to reach out and partner with different organizations. Like I met with Deputy Mayor. He was very involved and very excited about the program. So I met with Simon Rodriguez, so the City of Aurora is on board. Different partner organizations, church leaders in the community, anybody that I can tell about this opportunity for our young adults. So I'm always looking for partners. If we,
Because we have been blessed and fortunate to receive a couple of Instagram messages. We've gotten so our WhatsApp business is up. You guys, I'm sure see that on the post. You can always reach us there. There's been a couple people who've gotten jobs by hearing things on this show, and I'm so proud of that. If someone were to email us or send us a text and say, hey, how do I get more? Where would I send them to yourself directly or to the website? Or
they can contact me direct.
Okay.
They can give me a call. They can send an email. They can text me.
Okay.
On the fund, all the numbers and information is on the flyers.
Yeah.
Just reach directly out to me. We are currently right in the process of looking for participants because we want to start a training.
Okay.
So we're actively looking right now. And we'll start a training with 5. We'll start a training with 15 if we have it.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity for young adults. And I reach out to moms, dads, aunties, grandmoms, because you don't know if your neighbor, your neighbor might need something. You might need a job, or they know someone that's between 18 and 24.
Yeah.
And it's a no-cost program.
Now, when you, what is the training? Now, the training is not virtual.
It was virtual.
But right now it's not.
Yes, it's not. We're gonna hold it. We may do a hybrid too, because some individuals may not be able to get to the where the training is going to take place. So with the community rebuilding,
Together Aurora.
Yes, Together Aurora. Yes, that little center. There's talk about us potentially having the training there when we do the training.
Aurora Business Center.
No, the community center.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All
yeah.
right.
So I'm always looking for places like, we could potentially have it at the library. We use the Salvation Army in Elgin. They donated their space for us, so we had the participants come there and we did the training in person.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
So we're always looking. That's another partnership that we look for, is places to hold this training in the community. So again, we don't want to create a barrier for someone not to be able to get to it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Make it local so the
Right.
locals can attend.
Right.
What's the biggest impact? This will be a two-part question. The second part I'll ask later. What's been the biggest impact COVID has had with you professionally?
That's a really good question. I think that the outreach, the in-person touch, looking at somebody's face and seeing their expression and their body movements, that is probably COVID has been the toughest from a professional standpoint. When you're doing outreach, you can pick up the phone, you can do a virtual, but it's not the same.
I asked that question because I met you way before COVID in a professional sphere. So, and I have to say this in a motivational sense, a lot of the people who I saw rocking it and making it happen professionally before COVID, they didn't all come through, right? It's like the Navy, that maybe some of those ships didn't make it through the storm.
Right.
You did. And I just want to know, what it was like to take that element away from what had to be the key part of your job, of your whole thing. What in the world?
It's draining. I'm kind of speechless.
Yeah.
I always have something to say.
You do.
But yeah, I'm kind of speechless because I did a lot of artwork.
Okay.
I took a creative avenue,
right.
To help with that professional side, because it was tough. I mean, it was a struggle.
Right.
How do I reach people?
Now, do you have any upcoming calendar dates scheduled with training sessions yet?
Not yet. We're
Not
hoping
yet.
we're in the recruiting process, so we're hoping to get a cohort started before the end of the year so that we can get them placed for the beginning of the year. What a great way to start your new year.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
That would
great
be
way
awesome.
to start your new year.
Okay.
With a job.
Monica, if you can you take us to the local level? Take us to a commercial, and then I'll come back after the Tavia Farmers Market humming along, because this is an idea I'm thinking Aurora may want to. We got a word of the day today. I'm not going to use this today.
A free caregiver seminar will take place on November 30th from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Enjoy motivational speaker and renowned author Loretta Vinny in a conversation called Moving Caregivers from I Give Up to I Got This. The seminar, sponsored by Age Group, Alzheimer's Association, and AARP, will present tools that every caregiver needs to thrive with confidence. And the link to register I'll be sharing on our chats. This evening, there will be a great and informative town hall meeting hosted by State Representative Maura Hirschauer and State Senator Karina Villa at the St. Charles Public Library. Come share thoughts and learn about the hard work being done for all residents. This will be an awesome learning event held by two great leaders. The event begins at 7 p.m. For more information, you can call 331-465-9661. The first annual Tomahawk Turkey Trot is happening Saturday the 20th from 9 a.m. to noon. Brought to us by our friends of the Aurora East Educational Foundation and A Plus Foundation. Join the running community of the Aurora area on a flat and fast course along the Fox River. All proceeds benefit the Aurora East Educational Foundation and A Plus Foundation, for West Aurora schools and their support of students on both the east and west sides of Aurora. This debut event is sure to be an exciting one, finishing with the final straightaway across the brand new pedestrian bridge in downtown Aurora. The run or walk begins at 9 a.m. with an award ceremony taking place at 11 a.m. at Two Brothers Roundhouse. To register, I'll be sharing that link with you all in our chat and also the flyer on our social media.
All right, thank you very much, Monica. Thank you very much. Mark Hogan is here. Good morning to you, Mark. Mark is the proprietor. That was the word of the day last week. He's the proprietor of Tavern on Broadway, 24 North Broadway, and that's where we just had Noticias y Mimosas, the greatest networking event since the Roman Senate poured wine in goblets and passed them around for everyone to swim in Merlot. It was awesome. We interviewed Tracy Duran. It was a very good show. Also, Maria Chirito, good morning to you as well. Cindy Morales, Karina Suarez Darden, so many great people, and Dora Sanchez Soto. Shouts out to McCarty Mills as well. All right, so now you got some more information. Can I take a look at this? All right.
Absolutely.
So, MCIP. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to read some of the statistics and facts that we have. Over 90% completed the boot camp. 90% placed in internment. Terrible. Scratch that. Yeah, that's not the word we want to leave people with today. Man, you get a job and never leave. 90% placed in internships. 75% completed the MCIP internship. 70% are currently employed or attending post-secondary education. 50% of those who completed are in manufacturing jobs or training. Now, here's the qualifiers. High school, dropout, parenting youth. Parenting youth, you said before, that's youth who are the guardians of their, brother, right? Is that what that means?
They have children.
They have children,
Yeah.
okay.
Young adults that have children.
History,
Or pregnant.
Right. History with justice system, English learning language, foster homeless, low income, and disabilities. What you need to have is a copy of your birth certificate, social security card, state ID or driver's license, high school diploma or GED, transcript or status, and IEP if applicable, and complete the application. It's just that easy. And the number for Maureen is 630-453-9443. The number again, 630-453-9443. Okay, here's the thing. Now, you and I, before this, we started talking about the labor shortage in America. Talk a little bit more about that because I was talking about the emancipation of the worker in just the current sphere right now. But talk a little bit about the labor shortage and what's being done to alleviate that in terms of MCIP and other industries.
Well, I'm not an expert,
Okay. Yeah.
but there is a labor shortage in America. As you see when you drive around, everybody needs help.
Right.
There are signs everywhere. Everyone needs help. If you look at job boards, we are getting notified by companies saying they need sometimes 50 people,
Wow.
to work, maybe 18, 20, 50. We need 60 employees. So there is a labor shortage.
Right.
And as we were talking earlier before we started, is people understand manufacturing makes everything happen.
Right. Yep.
It makes everything happen, from the cup you're drinking your coffee out of,
The
to
car you drive.
the car you drive, to the microwave you heat up your food into, your toothbrushes.
Right.
So if you think about it, it has to be made.
It does, yeah.
It has to be made, and we have a large in Kane County. There's and just in Illinois is a very large, heavily manufacturing based state. And it has one of the largest manufacturing industries in the United States.
Right. How do industries work with or start the partnership with BCS? How does that? So if I'm General Mills, and I'd like to have General Mills be a participant with BCS in this program, how does that happen?
They reach out to us and we
Okay.
work with them. So there's a contract that's signed with them.
Okay.
There's a whole nother department from Business and Career Services that works exclusively with the manufacturers.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. So I'm in the Youth Services Division. And that's the MCIP program. So it's Youth Services 18 to 24. Business and Career Services also helps dislocated workers, adults, seniors, and people with disabilities as well.
Okay.
So, and we partner with different organizations all the way from Cook County to the Tri-County areas out here.
Okay. Now, besides the obvious positive human cost, what other benefits are assessed for the business to take part? Like, does the business get tax incentives, perhaps? Do they receive other?
So we are the employee of record in the 8 weeks. So we pay the intern.
Got it.
So the manufacturer, their obligation is really to provide the opportunity.
Okay.
To kind of participate in the program and show that young adults different aspects of manufacturing, guide them, obviously train them to a point where they, can successfully do their job.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an obligation to hire that person.
Right.
Okay, but they can hire that person. It can be a direct hire.
Sure.
Then there's also something called on-the-job training. That's a whole nother division that works with manufacturers. So if they want to get in an OJT, they get incentives for working, with us in an on-the-job training program and with the participant. So they get reimbursed up to a certain amount of the salary.
Okay.
Or the income, the hourly wage.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there any industries which are, I guess, off limits? Like, for example, are there dangerous industries with which one would not, that the program doesn't cover that, or you wouldn't be involved in such a thing? Like, is there, the Army National Guard or something like that? Is there any business that you don't work with, and not because of a bad reason, just because the industry is strenuous or it's dangerous? Well,
obviously we don't want to create a barrier, so we have to make sure that that person is placed in obviously a safe environment, etc. And they have to be. We don't want to expose them to something that is dangerous. Of course not.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I apologize because I'm a total novice in this, so I'm sorry if I'm asking you a silly question, but it's like, you don't want,
they have barriers already. We don't.
We make acid here. We don't really want you.
Right. And that also too, then in situations like that, there's additional training and things like that. You just don't put somebody that doesn't know or have that type of training into a dangerous environment.
The time is 8:40 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, and that means Monica goes to class. Monica, thank you very much, and have a fantastic day. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of an internship program where people can learn things and learn skills on the job, Good Morning Aurora is proud to have an internship program here, and Monica is our first intern, and boy, there's a benefit for it. Here's the thing, because we talked about working in our lives after this. We do a show and things like that, and then we go to work. Mm-hmm. I was a volunteer before being hired on, and I loved and was breathing the atmosphere of the company before being fortunate enough to get hired on. Mm-hmm. And again, these are my words, not anybody else's. Doesn't represent BCS, but I would only hire, like, just based on and how I feel, and I'm trying to do the same thing with this show, and eventually we will get to that. It's got to be a self-sustaining thing. It's a good thing to hire. I'm as you talk, I'm thinking about if I was working at General Mills, if I was the hiring manager at General Mills or Toyota, anywhere, Nalco. If you go through the program and complete it, I will hire you. I will hire you. I would be remiss if I didn't hire you. Mm-hmm. And I think that people need to understand that. They need to be thrown that football. If you're showing up, you need to be passed the ball to. Yep. And that makes me happy. That really does. What's the situation here in getting youngsters from like East Aurora and West Aurora? Are what's that been like? And another question is, how can we help you?
So I have been working with West Aurora and the Black Hawk Academy. So I've been working with them. They're definitely engaged. East Aurora has been a challenge, so I'm working on that. So there's I need an in.
Well, we'll see if we can get one. Y'all in the chat, y'all know anything about it? I mean, what's happening? You listening to the? Come on now. I need some DMs after this. Yo, Kurt, call this person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they do have to be out of school, so they can't be enrolled in college, and they have to be out of school. So,
Okay.
and they even if they're in dropout status, so that is they're currently not in school, so they have to be 18. If they're 17 and they're out of school, we can't. A lot of manufacturers, you have to be 18 to work at a manufacturing
Yes.
facility, but we can help them with other services and get them placed into a job in the interim. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. So what we do is we offer so many different services to help these young individuals and just to help people in general, whether you're adult or a senior or
Of course.
dislocated worker. Yeah, because we have other departments that work with those. I'm exclusively in the youth services.
All right, Dan says to message him. We will message you, Dan. Much appreciated, sir. Alvin Soto, APD. Good morning to you, dear friend of the show. Alvin Soto is one half of the team of McCarty Mills, the ownership. Good to see you. Casildo, Casey Cuevas, good morning. Cheryl Brownell, hello. Bianca Camargo, all you great people. Anna Sierra, Cindy Morales, I love all of you great folks. And Josie Mendoza Geller. Hello there. Malik Khan says the $750 relief is being distributed for COVID-19 courtesy of Pepsi Company. Relief. Thank you very much for that. Tia, hello there. Hello, Tia. Good morning to you as well. Okay. Now the time is 8:44 a.m. I want to just kind of take it to another local level here again, just here in the city, in regards to employment and how our downtown's doing, because you know about this kind of thing. And I want to apologize up front because I know that you were here about BCS. I just kind of want to talk about business in the city just a little bit. It seems like Aurora there's a light at the end of the tunnel for Aurora and businesses coming back in a positive, safe fashion. I'm seeing that light. River Edge had the Pole Dog Pondering, I think was the very last show, so that happened well. Our downtown is coming back to life. First Fridays have a very positive attitude. What just happened was great. Coco Coral is coming up. Are we as a city coming into that new opening and that new renaissance? What do you think? How do you feel about it?
I think so. There's, it's baby steps. Things can't happen overnight.
They can't, right.
They can't happen overnight. And we want this change. We want to see this progression. But it is progressing. Look at all the new businesses coming in. Look at all the manufacturers coming to Aurora, building new buildings.
Yep.
That's huge. So yes, I believe that we're moving in the right direction, but it's baby steps.
Right.
Like I said, it's just like it's not like I dream a genie,
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Because other things have to also be set in place to make it happen.
Right.
If you have bad roads, right? That's all I have to say.
No,
you can't get to work, you can't move.
Exactly.
So there's other things that are involved to make all this other stuff happen.
I have been enlightened consistently during this show, as we talked about kind of a little before, but I had a high level of respect for I know how a city works anyway. I always knew that. I was never a person who complained about the slow pace of much. Things move slow. But I have been surprised that with the way the city works and the kinds of things that are happening, a lot of people still, I think, don't understand those basic points. They don't get. I try to enlighten people with this show. I try to talk about the city council stuff that's going on and let you know about vaping and how it has to go through the RAP procedure and committee and whatnot. Right. A lot of people don't get that. So your goal is to educate and get people involved and bring this to them. And my goal is to educate the public. And I do think we should work a little bit stronger together. So I'm happy to have you on the show today and talking about this. And hopefully we can get some more people to take part in the program.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, I would. I really love to, because I remember being turned away for jobs when I was young and things like that.
And it's hard.
It is.
It's not easy, and we're like your cheerleaders. We're their cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got them.
Yep.
And we want to build that confidence.
Right.
I mean, I wish I had that when I was 18 and 19. You know, I went to college, but I still at 16 I was working. I had to go to an interview. No one taught me how to do that.
Right.
You know, I worked at a McDonald's, I worked at a greenhouse, I did a lot of different things. But they were just jobs.
Yeah.
So I did go to college, but I had to figure all that out on my own. I didn't have that support. I didn't have a family background.
Right.
So, and I think that's why I have passion for this, because we're their cheerleaders. They may not have that at home.
Right.
They may not have an opportunity. So if we can provide that opportunity and we can be their cheerleaders and we can help educate them and bring these opportunities to these young adults that kind of maybe feel hopeless.
My dad retired. He had one job his whole life. He was an iron worker. Hired as an iron worker. My dad found, and when he tells that story, he gets so animated, but my dad, and this is back when nobody was really hiring African Americans. This was Chicago in like the 50s and 60s. But he found a guy who hired him because he wanted to shake it up, because, you know, all these other guys aren't showing up. So he was like, oh, hire a black guy.
Right.
You know?
You're right.
You're not coming to work? Okay. But my dad started off doing the things, but he saw what he wanted to do, which was welding. So he was that guy in this kind of program. So when the whole time you sitting here and telling me about this, I'm thinking about my own life. I'm thinking about my own life, how my dad built and created a life for himself, a family for himself. He did it, all of it, and off of just being, learning, being smart, showing up, and finding that one passion within the manufacturing world. I don't know if that'd be manufacturing, but I think those that same kind of skill is interchangeable.
And what's great about this is it gives them a start. So it doesn't mean you start here and you have to stay there.
Right.
We work with these manufacturers and they understand they want to be able to train and build their own workforce.
Yep.
So they will move people up. If you have the ambition, you have the desire, and you have the goal, all you have to do is ask.
Yeah.
That's kind of the 8th A, we say ask, we teach them. Ask a question.
Yeah, so you mentioned, I wrote that down, the 7 A's. Now, what are they? Can you tell me those?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot
I
here.
need to know that. I do. I wrote it down. I was like, I like this.
Okay, let me see here. The 7 A's are acceptance, right?
Right, acceptance.
You got that?
Yep.
Okay. Appreciation.
Right.
Attitude.
Okay.
Appearance.
Okay.
Ambition.
And
accountability. Did I get all 7?
That's 6. Let's see. Let's go over it again. Acceptance, appreciation, attitude, appearance, ambition, accountability,
And attendance.
There it is.
That's it. The showing up.
Oh, there it is. Yes. All right. Showing up.
Yep.
All right, you guys, the time is 8:51 a.m. Okay, Dolores Mendoza, good morning today. Casildo, don't forget today, fundraiser for Judge Bianca Camargo for Kane County Circuit Judge, 5 to 7 p.m. at Ballydoyle, Aurora. Thank you for that link, sir. Tracy Duran is here. Good morning to you, Tracy. And Yolanda Dunn, it's fit time. Good morning to you. So many great people who represent so many great businesses. Mondo, good morning to you too as well, sir. And thanks for letting us know about that, Casildo, because tonight at Ballydoyle is the fundraiser. So you mentioned how, I think I mentioned, how can we help you? What do you need from us besides just, sharing and everything? Do you need help finding locations? We'll try to do what we can to spread the word, but how else can we help you?
Spreading the word. Again, I'm always looking for other partner organizations to bring this opportunity to talk about it.
Right.
I'm partnered with Chicano Times. I'm partnered with A-Town Boxing.
Okay.
Partnered with the city.
I have seen that posted in Spanish, yes, as well, yeah.
And then U46 is in Elgin, so we partner with that school district.
School district, right.
Yep, school districts. Anybody that can bring this opportunity and educate You know, because it's hard for me. I have all of Kane County.
Oh yeah, no, when you talked about it, I was like, holy cow, Maureen, that's a Herculean task.
Yes. And what's great is I do have I'm a kind of mobile, you know, because
Sure.
I have to be.
Right.
But in Batavia, there's WorkNet Center Batavia, and that's on First Street.
That's
yes.
right.
So I can use that as a home base as well, which is wonderful.
Yeah, they've done a few things, and I've shouted them
WorkNet
out.
Batavia, yes.
All right. Hi, Mom. Dolores Mendoza. Oh, okay. I see what's going on in the chat. Visa Arts, good morning to you guys, too. I thought somebody was saying hi, Mom. I don't know. Who are we saying hi, Mom, to? Well, moms always get the shout out. Okay, so it's 8:53. Did we forget anything? Because I do want to tell people just real quick about the Batavia Farmers Market. Then I'm going to come back to you.
And we talked about the training. We talked about employers.
We did.
The touring, how they get exposure.
Okay.
The whole idea is showing up, and we're, like I said, we're their cheerleaders. So we'll get them ready. We'll get them prepared to really get on a good career path. You know, it's a way to start, because everybody needs that start.
You do.
And the greatest thing about the internship is, even if, like I had mentioned before, they don't like maybe that particular, they may find something in that internship that goes, I want to do that.
Right.
And then that career advisor works with them. We find out what their passion is, what floats their boat, so to speak. Because we don't want to just place somebody in something that is not conducive to making them happy.
Think of all the years people were placed in things that didn't make them happy.
Yeah. And also on a career path. So where can they go?
Right.
You know, up.
Yeah, the sky's the limit.
Can they maybe they start sweeping the floor, and now they're running a line, and now they're working, instead of on a $30,000 car, because they like to work with their hands, they're working on $1 million machine.
Yeah, that's the American story right there.
Yeah. So if you like to work, and people that love to work with their hands, that's perfect for manufacturing.
What was your first job?
I was peddling things on the street for my brother.
Humana. Try to suck out. We got laces for your shoes. Hey, you, sir, you can use a new necktie.
And then I worked in a greenhouse, and then I worked at a McDonald's.
I was pushing carts at Jewel. That was my very first job. So real quick, guys, and then we're going to end with our dear friend Maureen. Oh, Karina Suarez Darden says, hi, Maureen. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Amelia Lopez, good morning to you as well. Dear friends. Okay, real quick, guys, and then we'll get back to my friend here. All right. Got a story. Indoor sessions keep Batavia Farmers Market humming along after the weather cools down. Batavia's Steve Miller was on the hunt for some bread over the weekend and found what he was looking for: Batavia's Indoor Market, which aims to keep the summertime tradition of farmers markets going after the weather cools down. With farmers markets closing down for the year, given the change of seasons, patrons can embrace indoor options like the one in Batavia, organized by the Batavia Main Street Group at 161st Street in the city. The indoor market is open from 9 a.m. until noon on Saturdays through mid-May. Now, here's why I bring it up. Our farmers market season is over here in the city of Aurora. And what I did not know before I started Good Morning Aurora is that Aurora, Illinois hosts the oldest farmers market in the entire state of Illinois. Holy cow. So think about that. Now, there's some country places where you are closer to St. Louis, Missouri than anywhere near here. And we in this city have the oldest farmers market in the entire state. Now, is it an idea to keep the farmers market going on an indoor basis? I saw that article and I kind of thought, well, that'd be kind of cool. But you know what? And I'm planting this flag now. This article will come back up this week. I kind of like the fact that our farmers market ends to come back for a proper new season with warm weather and being outside again. I kind of think it would take away from the strength of our farmers market if it did kind of follow that model. Now, hey, who am I? I'm not in economic development, and I'm not on the downtown committee, whoever oversees all that. But I would like to say, if anybody else reads that and gets any ideas, let's open it for discussion. Let's take a poll and see what the people think. I want to put my name in the hat of keeping ours the way it is. People are excited to go on that first day when it opens back up, when the butterflies are out and the flowers start blooming and you see the people downtown coming out. So food for thought, something to think about. We will revisit that topic this week. The time is 8:57 a.m. Okay, so I met you way before Good Morning Aurora. As we know, you are a friend of the show. So the last word will be on you today. Our show ends on a positive note. What is your message today to the people of Aurora and to our listeners?
Be kind to one another.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer in always try to walk in someone else's shoes. That gives you a different light.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Mm-hmm. Be kind.
Be kind. Yeah, I took training yesterday for work. The training was how to lead with empathy in housing.
Yes.
And it was teaching or trying to teach the soft skills and a couple other skills of getting on people's level if they're facing a hardship. How to talk to them if they're the one facing eviction. How to talk to them if they're the one they're facing eviction and they lost a loved one. And as I'm going through this training, I'm thinking to myself, who needs to be trained to do that? But you know, this is not knocking the training. You know, the
Right.
training was
No.
I always learn.
Yeah.
But yikes, right? Exactly.
Because
You
we
should
don't
be-
we don't know what
we don't know.
we don't know what that person's morning started at.
Exactly.
What happened when they woke up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind.
Mm-hmm. Be kind.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the message of the day. All right. So this was another awesome, great, fantabulous episode of Good Morning Aurora. Oh, look at that. Brissa says, Maureen is so inspiring. Dang, you got a lot of comments today. Oh my gosh. I see you guys like Maureen. Maureen will be back on the show.
Yes.
Hopefully sometime in the
Absolutely.
future. We'll keep things going. All right. The information for MCIP. We do have a video as well. Now, we shared on Buenos Dias Aurora yesterday for you guys. So the information presented today will be on Buenos Dias Aurora and it will be on Good Morning Aurora. A short YouTube video will follow. And I hope that you guys have a blessed, positive, wonderful day. Once again, MCIP, the Manufacturing Careers Internship Program. Our friend Maureen Gasek at Business and Career Services. She can be reached at area code 630-453-9443. The number again is 630-453-9443. Other than that, the message of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is to be kind. And with that, we're out of here. Take care of yourself and each other.